Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Tom Kranis. I'm an admissions advisor here at Buffalo State, and I will also be your host this evening. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us, and we are certainly excited to be here talking with you about all the opportunities we have to offer here at Buffalo State. Tonight, we have panelists from various departments here on campus who are really going to walk you through the steps to becoming a Buffalo State student, whether that's applying to Buffalo State, receiving your financial aid award package, registering for orientation, or where you're going to live on campus should you decide to do so. If you have any questions while we're going through tonight's presentation, please feel free to insert those questions in the live feed below. At the end of our session today, we are going to answer as many of those questions as time allows for. At this juncture, I'd like to introduce our panelists for tonight's discussion. To my left, we have Lynn Rainforth, who is the Associate Director in our Financial Aid Office. Thank you for being with us, Lynn.
Thank you, Tom. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
And to my right, we have Daniel Himes, who is an Assistant Director in our New Student and Family Program Office. Welcome, Daniel.
Tom, thank you for having us here tonight.
Absolutely. And last but certainly not least, we have Nina Perino, who is a Complex Director here at Buffalo State in our Residence Life Office. Welcome, Nina.
Thank you, Tom. I'm glad to be here.
And again, my name is Tom Kranis. I'm an admissions advisor in the Office of Admissions here at Buffalo State. And I'm actually going to be kicking off tonight's discussion talking a little bit about the application process. And while we realize many of you may have already applied, we're actually going to get into how you can check the status of your application as well, so stay tuned for that. So for first-year students, there's two ways that you can apply to Buffalo State. You can apply either using the SUNY application or the Common application. Those are both online applications, and when you go to those sites, you're going to create an account. After you've created an account, you're going to make sure that you apply as a first-year student and that you're selecting Buffalo State College as the institution that you are applying for. After you submit that application, we are going to ask that you also submit your official high school transcripts and your SAT or ACT test scores. Now, depending on how all of that information looks, we may ask for some supplemental information as well, such as your senior year grades or letters of recommendation. So that's the first year process, and for transfer students, it looks very similar. I know we have some transfer students tuned in today as well. You're still going to apply online, but you're only going to use the SUNY application, so not the Common application for transfer students, SUNY application only. Again, you're going to go to the website, but this time you're going to make sure that you are applying as a transfer student, and again, that you select Buffalo State College as the institution that you are applying for. After you've submitted your application, we are going to need your college transcripts as well. Please make sure you submit all of your college transcripts, so not just the last college you've attended. If you've attended multiple institutions, we do need all of your transcripts from all colleges that you've attended. From there, we are going to ask that you submit your high school transcripts. However, if you've completed at least 24 credit hours of college level coursework, we are not going to use your high school transcripts for academic review. However, we do need them on file before we're able to move forward with your application. So we know many of you have already applied, and now you're wondering, well, I haven't received a decision yet. Why is that? Most likely it's because we're missing some type of information for you, and right now we want to go through how you can actually check the status of your application. So you should see a video on your screen right now, and the first step is to go to the Buffalo State website, which is suny.buffalostate.edu. From there, in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see a box that says My Buff State. You're going to click that box, and then you are going to select for students. From there, you're going to log into our banner system. So if you look in the toolbox, that should be the first link available to you. And then from there, you're actually going to go down to the second link that says View Status of an Existing Undergraduate Application. When you click that, it's going to ask you for a login ID, which is your banner number. Your banner number should have been emailed to you from the admissions office at Buffalo State. If you can't find it, please feel free to reach out to the office and we can provide you with that information. And your PIN is your birthday in month, day, year format. Okay, so you're simply going to enter your PIN and log in. From there, you're going to scroll down to the bottom of the page and you're actually going to select the term that you applied for. So you can see this student applied for fall 2018. And then on this final screen, you're going to scroll down to the bottom and you're going to see that this student has applied and we've received their supplemental form, which was a part of their application, but we have not received their high school transcript or ACT, SAT test scores yet. So that's the reason why that student hasn't received a decision. So let's say, hypothetically, you've applied, you've been accepted, you decide that you want to come to Buffalo State. How do I now send in my tuition deposit? It's a very similar process. Again, you're going to go to the same website. You're going to click My Buff State, select for students. Okay, then when you log into Banner this time, you're going to click that first link to log in and simply follow the prompts to submit your admissions tuition fee. Okay? At this time, I'd like to pass it on to Lynn Rainforth, who is going to speak about how you can receive financial aid here at Buffalo State.
Thank you, Tom. Welcome to everyone. It is a pleasure to be here tonight to talk to you about the financial aid process. I am one of 19 full-time financial aid staff members here at Buffalo State to assist you with all of the needs that you'll have while you're attending here at Buffalo State and anything that you have up until that point too. We're always happy to help students fill out the FAFSA form. So right now I want to give you a quick overview of the FAFSA. Each year on October 1st, you will fill out the FAFSA form. And if you are a New York State resident, you will also fill out a TAP application. Both of these forms are needed to process your financial aid. At this point, many of you have already completed the 1819 FAFSA form, but if you haven't, no worries, there's still plenty of time. You will go to FAFSA.gov to complete the 1819 FAFSA. We encourage you to use the tools that are available. The best tool out there right now with the FAFSA is the IRS data retrieval tool. They will link you out to the IRS's website and pull in all of the pertinent information that's required for your financial aid. After that, well, I'm going to back up a little bit because I need to give you our school codes. For the FAFSA form, the Buffalo State school code is 002842 and the TAP application is 0905. And it's very important that you list the school codes on the application so that we receive your information and then we can process your aid. At the time that you're applying for financial aid, you will create user IDs and passwords. We encourage you to keep those in a safe and secure place, but readily available, as you will need those throughout your career at Buffalo State. After we receive your information for the FAFSA, we will process an award package for you and mail it to you. The award package will detail your federal and state grants as well as any loans that you may be eligible for. And we will also include reference sheets and a worksheet to help you figure the bottom line out, what it will cost you to attend Buffalo State College. We also offer a wealth of information on our financial aid website. We encourage you to go out there. You can find pretty much any answer you're looking for, and there is also a number of wonderful calculators and tools that we have developed over the years. One of the greatest tools that we have out there is listed under the cost of attendance, and we have a cost calculator and we also have a bill estimator. Again, you can let the computer do the bottom line figures for you so you will know ahead of time how much money you need to attend Buffalo State. And again, I cannot stress enough that our office is here to help you. We are available for in-person appointments, telephone appointments. You can come to our customer service desk during the day while we're open, and we also field a lot of email inquiries, and our advising staff answers the emails. So we encourage you, anytime you have a question, to just shoot an email to our office. One of the newest funding sources that we have this year is the New York State Excelsior Scholarship. It is a great source of aid for New York State residents, and it's for tuition only. To be eligible for the New York State Excelsior, you have to be a New York State resident. You also have to fill out the FAFSA and the TAP applications each academic year, as well as apply for the Excelsior Scholarship. Right now, the application has not been made available for Excelsior, but we encourage you again to monitor our website for any updates as they come along. Along that same vein, we know that everybody is interested in scholarships, any way to keep your loan debt down, and we encourage that. CAPS is our online campus portal for scholarships that we offer through Buffalo State. If you are an accepted student for the fall and you have paid your deposit, you have access to this system now. You can create a general application and apply. The deadline for the fall is March 31st. And if you miss that deadline, we do open it again during the fall semester for the spring of 2019, and then it is always open every year for the following academic year. As always, we encourage you to contact our office, to call us, to come in, to see any way that you can get through to us, to answer your questions. We cannot encourage that more. We're here to help you. We love assisting the students. We're out in the community all of the time, so please give us a call. And right now, I'd like to pass it over to Dan, who's going to tell you about the experiences at Buffalo State through his office.
Great, thanks, Lynn. It's a great night to be at Bengal, and I'm happy to be here with all of you this evening. All of our new students are required to attend an orientation session. For our first year students, we have 5 sessions in the months of June and July. Each session is a 2-day overnight experience. Once you as a student submit your online tuition deposit, you want to then register for orientation. In order to do so, we encourage you to come to our website and come under the Class of 2022 page, where you'll find out important information about how to register with a link right to Banner to register underneath the Student tab. You'll find out information about the cost of the orientation, as well as how to make that payment. And then finally, there's a first-year pre-orientation tutorial, which we really recommend that all students take in order to get some of the tools and tips to be successful during your first semester. We also have and concurrently run family member program that is 2 days as well. Family members can sign up at the same time as their students on the same form and make the payment for that as well. During orientation, you'll meet our Bengal Experience and Transition team members who are current students here at Buffalo State. You also meet faculty and staff during orientation, and all of us are really excited about welcoming you and making your transition to Buffalo State an amazing transition. After orientation, we have several things that we do as well. We look forward to welcoming all the students during Bengal Bound, which takes place just before the start of classes, where we have several activities and academic opportunities where we bring all the students together and go through that. After classes start, we also work with Homecoming and Family Weekend, where we like to welcome back all of our family members and students during that time and visit with all of you. During orientation, we also have a transfer student orientation, and that takes place during the summer as well. And we encourage all of our transfer students to go to our website, go under the Transfer Student tab, look up the information about the dates, the cost, and linking into Banner to sign up for your orientation. Very important for our transfer students is the Transfer Pre-Registration tutorial. You need to take this tutorial in order to get a PIN to access Banner for the first time to register for your classes. So you already have signed into Banner, but this PIN will allow you to register for your classes for the very first time. At this point, I know that many of our students like to live on campus. I'd like to turn it over to my colleague from Residence Life, Nina.
Thank you, Dan. Hi again, everyone. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, since living on campus is a very important component to coming to school in your first year if you're coming to Buffalo State in the fall. And I'm sure you have many questions on how to register for housing, fill out the application, and how to do all of those things. So I'm happy to explain them for you. Currently, we have 11 residence halls on campus, with our newly renovated Bishop Hall, which is the home for our honor students, opening in fall of 2018. Anyone who is outside of 35 miles from campus must live within the residence halls. It is a requirement to live on campus for your first 2 years, so freshman and sophomore year. The first step in the process is to log on to Banner. I know Tom explained a couple of the steps beforehand on how to log into Banner once you're an accepted student and receive that number. Once you log on to Banner, you're going to want to click on My Housing Deposit to pay the $125 housing deposit fee. You're going to have to wait 24 hours, so this is important, until you receive the link to fill out the housing application. Once you do get the housing application, you can put down your preferences for where you do want to live on campus. It is important to note, though, that those are not guaranteed. Starting sometime within the first week of July, that's the anticipated date that we have within our office, you will hopefully be able to receive your roommate pairing as well as your housing placement for the fall semester. At this time, you may want to try to coordinate with your roommate for orientation, maybe go to the same session to be able to meet each other in person and get to know each other a little bit more. And it's also a great idea to get to know your roommate beforehand if you want to contact them to talk about things about what you're going to bring. So whether you want to share a TV, maybe you want to share a refrigerator, those things are important to discuss beforehand before you come to school starting in the fall. Another important topic to mention is our meal plans on campus. First year students have a choice of 3 different meal plans that they can choose from. Our dining services are operated through Chartwells. You can contact them as well as dining services for any specific questions that you may have about dining on campus.
Thank you, Nina. We're going to switch gears a little bit now, and we're going to talk about student life on campus. So you're an accepted student, you've registered for orientation, you received your financial aid package, you know where you're living, and now you're excited to find out what's going on campus. I'm going to talk a little bit about athletics. We do have 16 varsity sports programs here at Buffalo State, all of which compete at the NCAA Division III level. We do have club sports available as well that are not a part of those sponsored varsity programs such as lacrosse and rugby. We also have a recreation and intramurals program, within that program, aside from the regular sports that are offered, there's classes such as spinning and yoga. And finally, included in your fees to Buffalo State is a membership to our fitness center, which you've seen some pictures on your screen of right now. Obviously, a very nice facility. That's a little bit about athletics. Now I'm going to pass it on to Dan, who's going to talk about new student family programs and some student life opportunities within that.
Great, thanks, Tom. As Tom mentioned, there's lots of things that are taking place on campus. We have student life programs that start with Bengal bound and then continues out through the first semester and the second semester. We really encourage all of our students to get engaged on campus by participating in events. We know that engaged students are students that are going to persist and graduate at a higher rate, so we really encourage all of our students to participate in events. We start off right off the bat with the first 6 weeks of the semester are what we call weeks of welcome. There's lots of events that are taking place during that time. We also have many opportunities to get involved in clubs or organizations, so we really encourage you to explore all the different clubs and organizations that we have on campus. Those can be found on bengalconnect.com. If for whatever reason you don't find a club or organization that interests you, you can always look into how to create your own club or organization, and we highly recommend that you talk to our friends in the Student Life office on how to do that. We have many resources that are available to our students. We have our commuter ambassador programs, so for those students who are going to be commuting, we have current commuter students that run with our commuter ambassador program, and they put on several events throughout the semester that really geared towards our commuter students and getting engaged and connected with other commuter students. In addition, we have several leadership programs. We have our Next Level Leadership Program, which is followed up by the Legacy Leadership Program. We also have NIA, which is Nurturing Initiative and Achievement Program. It's a great program that pairs upper class students with first year students, and really is a great way to collaborate and work together with that. The Student Life Office has resources on LGBTQ resources, and then they also run our Milligan's Food Pantry, which is a resource whose aim is to assist our current enrolled Buffalo State students who are experiencing food insecurity or access to the food that they need. And so we've got a lot of great things going on in the Student Life office. We encourage you to visit Student Life webpage to see everything that is really encompassing of what takes place throughout the first semester and the entire year.
Great. And Nina, do you have anything to add as far as student life, things that are available on campus pertaining to residence life?
Absolutely. So there are lots of different ways to get involved with the Residence Life Department, lots of leadership opportunities, which include applying to be a resident assistant, or RA, or an office assistant, OA. There's also opportunities, which are going to be linked on the screen, to see those opportunities that we have on campus. And like I said, besides those two positions, we also offer positions for summer RAs during our summer months when we're on campus. There's also many ways, if you don't want those positions on campus, to be involved within your hall. So you can join your hall council, or you can join RHA, which is the Residence Hall Association, which is a national organization that we have on campus, and it's a great way to get involved if you're not interested in some of those other leadership positions that we offer through our department. So the RAs have a variety of different programming which occur on a monthly basis within the halls, and they focus on different programming pillars that we have. So whether that's diversity, campus engagement, civic community involvement, those are all things that we offer within the halls to give students a chance to be involved if they don't want a leadership opportunity. We also host a variety of signature events, which are hosted by each complex on campus. So that is our buildings that are paired together. Those occur during the fall and spring semesters, which is a great way to kind of build that camaraderie with your complex, with your building, and also, again, a chance to get involved. And one great initiative that we do offer for programming is our Faculty Fellows programs. These occur in conjunction with a faculty member in their area of expertise in the classroom. They come to our residence halls to complete a program. So again, it's a great way for the faculty to interface with our students within the halls, and that's been a really successful program in my tenure at Buff State. So seeing that is great. I know students enjoy it, and again, it's just a great way to link the classroom with the residence halls.
Great, thank you, Nia. Certainly a lot to get involved with, to say the least. We're going to switch gears again a little bit here, and I want to talk about Open House, one of our biggest events of the year. Spring Open House will be held on Saturday, April 14th, 2018, from 9:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you are an accepted student, you should have received a physical invite in the mail as well as an email invitation. You can simply register by mailing back the registration form that was in the physical invite, or you can register online by visiting our website, which you just saw, admissions.buffalostate.edu/visit. So what is there to do at Open House? Well, the event's going to start with a welcome address from President Conway Turner, and then from there you're really able to make your schedule. We'll have a number of academic department presentations available so you can meet with faculty from different departments here on campus. Enrollment services will be available, so faculty or staff members rather from financial aid, student accounts, and admissions. We will have an information fair where student service departments will be available, and we're also going to have campus tours that last about 30 minutes. Now, separate from those normal campus tours, we are also going to have residence hall tours, specific obviously to those residence halls, tours of our E.H. Butler Library, as well as our Houston Gymnasium. It's also worth noting that the Barnes & Noble bookstore will be open, as well as the Birchfield Penny Art Gallery, which is free admission for all students and family members that choose to attend Buffalo State. Lynn, can you expand a little bit more on specifically what financial aid is going to be offering at Open House?
Absolutely, Tom. So the Financial Aid Office is super excited to meet with you and your families during Open House. We are located on the second floor of Moot Hall, and we will be available from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. throughout the morning and early afternoon to visit with you. You can set up an individualized appointment to sit down in an office and meet with an advisor if that is what you would like to do. We ask that you, when you come in the building to the second floor, we will have some designated staff members there who will take your name and select a time slot for you to meet with an advisor. We are also going to have our bank of customer service windows open so that if you just have a couple quick questions, you can come right up to the customer service window and we will be happy to assist you there so that you can get out and enjoy some of the other activities that Tom was telling you about. Also new this year, the Excelsior program is new, and we want to make sure that everybody gets the information that they're looking for. So we're going to have 3 sessions offered during Open House, and you can see the time and the location in the agenda when you pick it up that morning. And I'm going to pass this off now to Dan so he can tell you what Open House activities they have planned.
Great, thanks, Lynn. Yeah, we're excited to be at Open House and to welcome everyone. Come by, we'll have a wheel to spin and win some prizes. And you can meet some of our Bengal Experience and Transition Team members right at Open House, talk to them about the experience of being a student, as well as learn all about orientation in the programs that we'll be offering. So really, we'll be handing out just a lot of information about the orientation sessions and what's happening at orientation. And we look forward to seeing you in the Campbell Student Union lobby during Open House. At this point, I want to turn it over to Nina, who's going to talk about Residence Life.
Thanks, Dan. So on the day of Open House, as Tom said, you'll want to have the opportunity to take our residence halls tours, which are separate from the campus tours, so just keep that in mind. So you'll have the opportunity to walk through a couple of our different buildings on campus, as well as meet some of the professional staff, such as myself, as well as our wonderful RA staff within the building. The first year building that will be available for tour on that day is Cassidy Hall. That's one of our first year corridor style buildings and current home to our athletic specialty housing. You'll have the opportunity to see a typical style room, as well as tour the rest of the building. Tours typically last about 15 to 20 minutes. I definitely encourage you to ask questions of the RA staff and the professional staff who are in the building that day of. It's a great opportunity for you to get a feel what it will be like to live in the residence halls. And the other halls that are available for a tour are North Wing Hall, which is the current home of our Mariel A. Howard Honors Program, as well as Tower 1, one of our upperclassmen buildings, and Stack will also be available, which is another upperclassmen apartment-style housing option that we have on campus. So I really look forward to hopefully seeing you all in the residence halls on the day of Open House.
Great. Thanks, Nina. Now we've reached the question and answer section, of our program. And, we're going to read through some of the questions that you've posted as we've been talking today. I'm sure there's a few. And one of the first ones that's come up that I'm reading here is, do you have any first-year merit-based scholarships available for students? We do have first-year merit-based scholarships available. For our presidential scholarship, which is our highest level of merit-based scholarship, it does require a 90 GPA, as well as a 1270 on the SAT for the evidence-based reading and writing and math sections combined, which amounts to about a 26 on the ACT, and that's a $2,500 award that's renewable each semester. So it's $25 for the entire year, but is renewable each semester. In order to maintain that scholarship, you do need to keep a 3.2 GPA here at Buffalo State. And right below that, we have our Provost Scholarship. Again, it's a 90 GPA that's required to get that scholarship, but it's an 1170 on the SAT, again, for the evidence-based reading and writing and math sections combined, which is about a 24 or 25 on the ACT. In order to maintain that renewable scholarship, you do need to maintain a 3.0 GPA here at Buffalo State. All right, so let's see what we have here for our next question. We have, what are some of the unique housing options we have? So, Nina, I know you just spoke about that, but do we have anything unique like for specific cohorts of students?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, one of our first year buildings that we have on campus is athletic specialty housing at the moment. We also have, as I mentioned before, honors students have specific housing, and our newly renovated Bishop Hall is going to be that specific space for our honors students starting in fall of 2018. We also are working on living learning communities within the residence halls, so really we're working on a variety of different options for that specialty housing for people who want a specific niche within the residence halls.
Great, thanks, Nina. Next question that we have here is, how do I know if I'm eligible for the Excelsior Scholarship? Lynn, I'm sure you can speak to that.
So for the 2018-19 award year, your combined, so it's parent and student together, adjusted gross income must be below $110,000. You have to complete your FAFSA application, your TAP application, and you have to be a full-time student at the SUNY school. So as long as you're planning on being here full-time and you meet the income requirements, file the FAFSA TAP application, and you file the Excelsior application, you should qualify. Again, we have to say it is a tuition scholarship, so if you do get grants and other aid that exceed tuition, you may not qualify for the grant, but apply for it, and then we will certainly let you know what the options are.
All good information. Okay, Dan, I think I have one here for you. Next question is, what does orientation cover, and will my family members stay in a hotel?
Great, yeah, great question. So during orientation, students have an opportunity to meet current students. Like I mentioned earlier, our Bengal Experience and Transition team members are current students, so you really connect with those students, as well as meet other incoming students. So you really have an opportunity to connect with each other and really start those relationships and those bonds prior to the start of classes. In addition, there's some academic components that take place during orientation, as well as several of our offices, such as Career Development Center and others that participate in orientation, so you can really learn about services that are available to you as a student that will help you be successful during orientation. For our family members that attend orientation, we do work with and partner with area hotels. So I would really encourage you to go to our website and go under the family section. There is a list for partner hotels, and find out all the information about the hotels that we've worked with. So the parents will be staying at hotels during their orientation.
Great, thanks, Dan. The next question that we see here is room and board first come, first serve, or are there deadlines for housing? So Dan, we're going to pass it right back to you.
So actually, room and board, Nina, can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, so obviously is the requirement that all of our first-year students and sophomores live on campus. We make sure that there is enough room for all of those students who are applying as transfer students and first-year students to have room on campus. Any deadlines would be listed on our website, so I know that we linked that before, and if you have any information, you can directly call our office, visit our website. All the important dates that we have for the Residence Life Office are listed there, so just, like I said, check on that, check back, and then make sure you're not missing any of those deadlines for those specific types of things.
Great, thanks, Nita. I think this will be our last question that we have time for tonight. And it's what is the average GPA and SAT score for accepted students? So the average student who's accepted to Buffalo State has around an 86 GPA and a 1080 on the SAT. Again, that's the evidence-based reading and writing and math sections, which is about a 21 on the ACT. Now, please keep in mind that we do take a holistic approach to reviewing applications. So while those are the average scores for the accepted student to Buffalo State, we certainly accept many students above that and below that GPA. And again, we're going to look at letters of recommendation, course curriculum, senior year grades, but those are the numbers for the average student. I believe that is all the time we have for questions tonight. We've reached the conclusion of our program, and we've certainly enjoyed talking to you. We've hoped that you've learned a little bit as well. The last thing we want to leave you with is please make sure that you understand after you're accepted to Buffalo State, the official mode of communication and how we're going to communicate with you is your Buffalo State email address. And directions on how you can activate and access your Buffalo State email address are in your acceptance packet. And lastly, we just want to leave you with, if you have additional questions that we weren't able to get to tonight, we are going to place some slides at the conclusion of this program with all of our contact information. So please feel free to reach out to our departments directly. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and good night everyone.